University Board of Trustees is set to meet tomorrow morning at 9 with OSU President Michael Drake to talk about the findings of that Urban Meyer investigation. It was conducted by a New York law firm, but even though the investigation has been completed, approving the money to pay for it has been delayed. NBC4 reporter Ted Hart is live at Ohio State tonight with more on this latest twist in all of this. Ted?
Colleen, when a public university in Ohio wants to hire outside lawyers to work on a big project like the Urban Meyer investigation, there's a legislative panel at the State House that has some say in approving the funding. And that was supposed to happen yesterday, but it was suddenly deferred until September 10th. The real cost for the Urban Meyer investigation may be to the university's reputation and could be felt for years to come. The budget for the immediate costs to conduct the investigation was initially set at $500,000. But the request for the State Controlling Board to approve the expense was withdrawn from the agenda at the State House yesterday.
The reason why it was pulled was just to make certain that they, have that they've pinpointed what the exact costs are going to be a little bit more accurately.
Senator Jay Hottinger says ultimately the bill will be paid by Ohio State and not with state tax dollars. But Senator Charlotta Tavares, also on the controlling board, says her concerns are not as much about the money, but about the quality of the investigation.
That the investigation is complete, that they had the time that they needed. Money shouldn't drive the decision because this is a serious allegation.
And by the next meeting of the controlling board, there should be a much more accurate picture of how much this investigation costs the university and the dollar amount that needs to be approved. Local for you and live on campus, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Thanks for that update, Ted. And as for tomorrow's scheduled meeting of the Board of Trustees, it remains unclear when a final decision about Urban Meyer's future is going to be announced.
Sports Director Jared Smalley has more on how that meeting will play out and what the governor is saying. Jared?
And Mark and Colleen, just to be clear, the governor is not a part of the decision-making process here. He was speaking today at a separate event, and he was asked for his thoughts on Urban Meyer and the potential outcome at OSU.
I mean, this has been difficult, I'm sure, for he and his family. I hope he can get his reputation back because it's been damaged and it might not be fair. And I want him to be back on top again. I don't root against people. I don't want people to have trouble or be in pain or any. I mean, what the hell do you want to do that for? So I hope he's going to be just fine, and we'll know. But I can't hazard a guess because I don't study the whole thing. I don't know.
I talked to Ohio State today to get some details about the meeting itself. The Board of Trustees will convene on campus at 9 a.m. Wednesday and will shortly thereafter move into executive session. So those committee conversations are going to be closed to the public and to reporters. Ohio State is expected to share public documents used by the committee related to their investigation. Now, the school has, of course, been flooded with public records requests in this investigation. OSU announced earlier this month that University President Michael Drake was going to make the final decision on next steps by Ohio State, including Urban Meyer's status as the head football coach. It is unclear when to expect that announcement. However, I would imagine this is going to come very quickly, probably by the end of the week. It could even happen at the end of the meeting. Dr. Drake could walk out of that meeting and turn to reporters and say, here's what we're going to do next. May happen that way, may not happen at all like that.
To Ted's point, the cost aside, the reputational damage is what's going to linger for the university and for the football program.
There's work to do regardless of the finding of the investigation.
Yeah.
The university has to get back on stable footing, and the football program, it's game week next week. And that's a big deal at Ohio State. So all of that coming to a head right now.
All right, Jared, thanks.
Okay.
And you can count on